What if I told you that with 5 easy steps, I can guarantee that you will be the very first person in line for your favorite ride at Disneyland? This is coming from someone who's ridden every ride in the park twice, or I guess thrice if you count California Adventure, and is always, without fail, the first person at the front of the rope at rope drop. Step 1 of rope dropping at Disneyland has to do with parking. Now, if you're staying at a hotel that's within walking distance of Disneyland, then you don't have to worry about this, but most of you guys need to figure out where you're gonna park your car. A lot of people end up going with one of the Disney parking lots. They go with the Toy Story parking lot or the Mickey and Friends parking lot. But let me tell you right now, do not, I repeat, do not park at those parking lots. The reason is because those parking lots don't open until 7 a.m. and by that point, there's gonna be people on foot that are already going through security at 7 a.m. They're always going to beat you at rope drop. Instead, you should park here at the Anaheim Garden Grove parking lot. It costs about the same as the Disney parking lots, but what's important is that it's open 24/7, which means you can park here earlier. So now that you've parked your car, it's time to walk to the Harbor Boulevard entrance of Disneyland. It's currently 6:20. I would recommend that at the latest you start walking around like 6:40-ish. The security opens at 7, so we want to get there a little bit before 7. Also a reminder, this security entrance is going to be the closest to the theme parks. There's a few other security entrances around the Disneyland Resort, but this security entrance is by far the closest one to the 2 theme parks. They open all of the security at the same time, so you're going to be the first person basically to the theme parks if you go through this entrance. So they just opened this gate. They usually open this gate at 6:30, so we're right on time. We just got here at 6:30. Step 3 of rope dropping Disneyland is getting through security and getting to your park entrance gate. Now, like I said, it's 6:30, so we still have to wait 30 more minutes out here, but once it's 7, we're gonna have first dibs to security and the park entrance.
It's important noting that Disneyland is on this side and DCA is on this side, and many people think that you should line up for the security line that's closer to the park that you're going to, but everyone is funneled through the middle after security, so it honestly doesn't really matter, just pick the shortest line. Now that I've gotten through security, we're moving on to step 4, which is to line up in front of the gates at Disneyland. Pick a gate, preferably one close to one of the sides, but honestly it doesn't really matter at this point, just pick a gate that has little to no line. It's currently 7:03, we still have to wait until 7:20 before the gates actually open. Depending on what day it is, the gates will open at either 7:20 or 7:30, and this is because of early entry, which is a perk for Disney hotel guests that lets them begin riding certain rides at 7:30 a.m. instead of 8. These are the days that Disneyland does early entry and California Adventure. They usually switch off days. On a day where Disneyland doesn't have early entry, the gates wouldn't actually open until 7:30 a.m.
Okay, so now we're in Disneyland. So right now, Main Street is the only thing that's open right now. No rides are open at the moment. Important to note, none of the rides actually open until 8 o'clock. Now, I had a bit of a holdup when they were scanning us in, I had a little bit of a holdup ahead of me, so we'll see how close I get to the rope. I'm assuming most of these people are gonna be early entry people though. So you're gonna have to put in some speed walking into it. Okay, so when you get close to the castle, you're gonna see a bunch of ropes. There's a rope over here for Tomorrowland, rope over here for Fantasyland, for Frontierland over here, and then over here for Adventureland. Now this leads us to step 5, which is, now that we're in rope drop position, what ride should we rope drop?
Quite honestly, there is no right or wrong answer to this question. This is your vacation. What rides are you prioritizing most? Pick a popular ride to start with, and then afterwards do the rides nearby it, while you still have the low crowd rope drop advantage. I'm gonna show you what this would look like for a handful of popular attractions. Like this video if you wanna see my recommended rope drop strategies for California Adventure. Strategy 1 would be to rope drop Space Mountain, then go on Star Tours and Buzz Lightyear. If you are eager for the challenge, you could also begin at Space Mountain and then go up to Matterhorn, another super popular attraction. I actually did this in a video recently and I was able to do it pretty quickly, but I will admit I did use the single rider line for Matterhorn. Strategy 2 is to rope drop Peter Pan and then do various rides in Fantasyland. I've done this numerous times. This is actually the strat I would recommend if you are trying to ride every ride in the park in one day. It's important to do Peter Pan first because it's easily the most popular ride in Fantasyland. After that, consider going to Alice in Wonderland or Dumbo, since those get pretty crowded in the afternoon as well. However, if you're going on a day that has early entry, I wouldn't recommend doing this because the Peter Pan line is already going to be filled up with early entry guests. Before we get to strat 3, I want to point out a fatal mistake that a lot of people make, which is rope dropping Rise of the Resistance. Admittedly, you can do this. I have done it before, but just know that if you do this, it will probably be the only ride that you have the rope drop advantage for, because this is a pretty long ride and it's secluded from everything else. This ride is also pretty inconsistent and may just break down at rope drop. I know Rise of the Resistance is a ride you probably want to do, so maybe try heading in that direction a little bit after rope drop to find a 45-minute wait for it. But again, this is your vacation, do what you want. At this point, you can probably see that rope dropping is really just starting with a popular ride and then doing the rides around it. I could see a rope drop strategy that includes Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Haunted Mansion in the future. If Mickey and Minnie's is a priority, you could start with that and then do the 2 in Toontown. It all depends on what you want to do most. And now I'm gonna show you strategy number 3.
We're gonna try to rope drop Indiana Jones, Jungle Cruise, and Pirates. And this should take a little under an hour. This would be the Adventureland strat. This is what you would do if you were rope dropping at Adventureland.
The rest of this video is me attempting this rope drop strategy. If you like this video and want to learn more about not waiting in line at Disneyland, make sure to check out my Patreon linked below. It's just $2 a month and you get a bunch of perks. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the video.
The dude with the hat over there is the line leader. You're not allowed to like pass him. This guy right here, he's the line leader. So I'd say we did pretty good. We got very close to the front. I think we're barely gonna make it on the first vehicle, so we did a pretty good job.
Oh guys, look, snake!
Well, my friends, your moment is drawing near. Already I am envious of the wonders that await you, if you avoid the eyes of God.
Okay, we're about to get on our vehicle and it's 8:06. So hey, 6 minutes in, we're not doing bad. All right, first vehicle, 8:08, we're on the ride.
Snakes, you guys are on your own.
Don't tell me that wasn't big fun.
That was big fun. Okay, so what time is it now? It's now 8:12. We're gonna do Jungle Cruise next. Let's see if there's a wait. I don't think there is gonna be any significant wait for it. Probably maybe 5 minutes, 10 if we're unlucky.
Yeah, that's why you chose Jungle Cruise.
It's 8:14 and we're heading in line for Jungle Cruise now. Not much of a line at all. It just goes around the corner right here and then we get there. This should probably take 5 minutes at most. This is not gonna take long at all.
All the way down this way, folks. Right over here, all the way down towards the front. Welcome, welcome, watch your head. All right, ladies and gentlemen, wave goodbye, guys. Wave goodbye to civilization. Yeah, you'll never see those people ever again, thank goodness. All right, welcome aboard, friends, to the world-famous Jungle Cruise aboard the beautiful Orinoco Adventurous. My name is Darren, and I'll be your skipper for as far as we get. Well, we'll begin our tour on the far right-hand side with the beautiful sights of the Temple of the Forbidden Long Line. Yeah, that could have been you, but you chose Jungle Cruise. 5 minutes. Are we still 5 minutes?
Actually, we did both.
So, legend has it that these elephants are actually not real. I mean, surreal. It is also said, too, that they can grow up to 4 feet, ladies and gentlemen. 4 feet. Well, us humans can only grow up to 2 feet. Yeah, don't believe me? Go ahead, look down. How many feet do you guys have? Oh, my goodness, here he comes. All right, guys, ready? You might want to cover your ears. Let's see if we can scare him off with a few warning shots. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's still alive. Okay, we're going to go to plan B. What's plan B? Oh, you have 4 kids. Which one do you like? World, you guessed it. Here it is, the backside of water! Oh, you guys are like water?
Okay, so now it's 8:32. We're gonna head over to Pirates, and I think we'll definitely be able to do this before we hit the 1 hour mark, which was my goal. It's relatively very unbusy. I think anyone who's walked through Adventureland in the afternoon knows just how insane it is and knows that this is like not that bad compared to it. 5 minute wait for Pirates. We should just be walking on this thing because the boat slowed on very, very quickly on this ride. So I do not expect this to take any longer than 5 minutes. So we literally just walked on. We're about to get on this boat. So yeah, overall I'd say a successful rope drop, but here, let's get on this ride, let's enjoy. This is like my second favorite ride at Disneyland. It's now 8:51. So that means I was successful in getting on 3 rides in just 51 minutes. It's not bad. Not a bad rope drop, I would say. If you want to learn how to save even more time at Disneyland, then click here to watch my video about how to use Lightning Lane Multipass.